Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue, we fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to
Welcome everyone to Nerd TV on the YouTube or Facebook platform for another Global Sim Racing Truck Series race. This time coming at you live for our second race of the fictional series here. This time Chicagoland Speedway. I say fictional because nobody runs here anymore. The track actually exists. Maybe it'll come back, who knows, but we're going to relive it here on a Sunday night. Weather on the track, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 50% humidity. partly cloudy, which you see the blanket above there in turn 3, and 7-mile-an-hour winds. Don't see that playing a factor here this evening. Of course, my name is Jeremy Stanley, aka Jay Swifty on the interwebs, and Ballistic Dustin Logston. How you doing there? Getting a last-minute dinner in, just like myself.
Yeah, trying to get it in there. Lost track of time. Kiddos stopped over, so tried to prioritize spending time with them. But I tell you what, I mean, you know me, Jeremy. This is a home track for me. I'm from Illinois. I'm on the western side of Illinois-Iowa border, so this is always a home track for me, just like Iowa Speedway is. I love this track. This track poses some of the greatest racing. It saddened me when they elected to take it off the schedule the way they did and replace it with the Chicago street course. I love this. Trucks always poses good racing, Xfinity, Cup, so it's good all the way around. And I don't expect anything less from these guys here tonight. Multi-groove. You're going to see a lot like what we did, like what we do at Auto Club, things like that, Kansas. You're going to see varying lines going through corners. Should be some good racing tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind getting rid of a 1.5-mile track here and there, right? Because there are so many that take up the annual circuit.
Right.
But this track is the only one with a curved back straightaway. This one has natural speed on the top portion of the track, which most others kind of do, kind of don't. So, like, it's a very unique shaped track, and it was at least a favorite in a lot of people's eyes. So, for him to pull this one off the schedule and then go back to Chicago just to make it a street course, I like street courses, don't get me wrong, but to leave one track just to stay in the area and switch it up when this facility is just fine, like, I don't know. But we're gonna relive it here this Sunday evening, at least one more time here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. Checker flag just hit practice, and it looks like Chad McGinley, your points leader, by 5 points, will be taking the practice win here, so he'll try to get the camera for our qualifying session. We're going to go full screen to this qualifying. And quick rundown on the points as they're starting to get ready for their qualifying laps. Chad McGinley, like I said, 5 points over that number 12, Joshua Slade. Third place in points, 54 out, is Bobby Mantle. Fourth place, EJ Luna, 93 points back. And Michael Hayes in the one truck, going to be 120 points out. He is your fifth person in the points, so that is your ones to look for the Illinois 201, our very, very generic name given by myself. So if it's not a paint scheme, Dustin, I'm not creative, and you're seeing it there, but here we go. And we're going to ride on board with quite a few drivers here during this 5-minute session.
Yeah, first up, what we like to do is the person that takes top time, we always like to showcase them as kind of a little reward, so to speak, for taking that top time. So we're on board with Chad McGinley. But like you said, Jeremy, you can see this back straightaway is curved. It's the only 1.5-mile cookie cutter, like they say, that has that curved backstretch. And I'm with you. I'm wondering why they elected to pull this one off of the schedule, yet keep a track like Kentucky on there. Or Kansas, which are almost identical tracks. So you could have, axed one of those and left Chicagoland in there. So, but we at least get to relive it now as Chad McGinley finally does his out lap. So you see he's going to take it on that high side, Jeremy. He's going to try to wind this bad boy up, see if he can't put this thing on the pole.
Kentucky needs to go. Chicagoland Speedway needs to be brought back. I love Kansas. That's Progressive Bank. I'm good with that. Kentucky, though, I just, that's not me. And so, shout out to whoever wants to call me out for calling it Kentucky.
That's the only thing I call it by. I'm with you, Jeremy. I am not a fan of that track. It poses just awful racing majority of the time. There was other tracks they could have left in there like Chicagoland that definitely would have posed better racing.
Listen, there's no other facility minus kind of Texas now to where you could have 10 lanes wide and only be able to utilize 2 of them. It's just tragic. But here we go. Chad McGinley slamming the apron there to cross the line for the complete lap number 2. 30.151, a tenth faster than his practice time. Puts him P1 there, 1/10 over the 75 Patrick Gintner. but John DeMatteo sneaks in. He's going to be P2 at the moment with a 2:44.
Yeah, look at these qualifying times, though. I mean, it's besides McGinley, who's the only one in the .1 bracket right now. You've got the following are in the .2 bracket. So second place, DeMatteo. Third place, Genter. Mantle in fourth place. Minor in fifth place. So the rest of your top 5 are all in the .2 brackets and only separated by 0.05 of a second amongst those 4 drivers. Right now on board with Joshua Slade as he's trying to see what he can't do. Correction, there's now a 5th driver that is in the .2 bracket as Mike Hayes sneaks into the top 5 on qualifying times.
I am K Smooth there on the YouTube side. We have a Kentucky fan. He says, I love Kentucky, LOL.
Yeah, I just lost respect for you there, Kenny. Just lost respect for you.
I wasn't going to go that far.
I'm playing, buddy. I'm playing, buddy. We all have our likes and dislikes. I mean, it's a driver's choice, so.
That it is. And I think we're closing out this qualifying session. We got a minute left. And Dust, I think for the first time in a long time, all entries have made a time on the board. All 26 here tonight. 27 rather as it cycles through. So that's kind of cool to see. I like to see the effort across the board. We got 49 seconds left in. Chad McGinley looks like he's gonna be locked in. Joshua Slade, he sneaks in there P2. The 65 and the 12 man. This show these two guys have been putting on. 5 points separates them after 4 months of racing. This is going to be a good entire season for these two to duke this thing out because Joshua Slade has been getting faster and faster, and he's picked up wins. If he wins tonight, he ties Chad McGinley for the season high 5 wins tonight, or the season rather.
Yeah, and they just find each other on the track because they run so competitively close in times and how they actually run on the track that that's why the competition is so high between those two, and that's why there's only a 5-point separation in between the two. Yeah, Kenny, you're going to have to come back and win a race to get some of that street cred back for sure, being a Kentucky fan there. But as we round out qualifying, McGinley will take your pole. Joshua Slade, that will be your front row as we will run you down the remaining parts of the starting grid once they actually start gridding, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're Kentucky, like college fan, it's still not good. There's nothing good that comes from Kentucky, to my knowledge, unless it's fried chicken. That's the only thing I know that comes good from that part of the country. But these guys are going to line them up 2 by 2 on the front stretch. I don't think Dustin's walkthrough camera is still working at the moment.
Nope.
So we're going to do this old school way, plain Jane vanilla gorilla style. Front row, Chad McGinley and Joshua Slade. That's P1 and P2. Second row is going to be John DeMatteo and Patrick Gittner. Third row is going to be Bobby Mantle and Michael Hayes. Fourth row, Bradley Minor and Brandon Creighton. Row 5 is going to be Nick Boyd and Abram Ghostin. Row number 6 will be Shane Wielden and Stephen Knight. Row number 7 is going to be Curtis Noble and Stephen Hayes. Row number 8 will be Jamie Horn and Jason Schilling. Row number 9, you'll find Ronald Holmes and Austin McGill. Row 10 will be Brody Marinko and EJ Luna. Row 11, you'll find Danny White and Anthony Emmerich. Row 12, Clayton White and William Gay. Row 13 will be Jacob Grant and Mark Sherwood and Ron Harrington. Soloing out the last row in row 14. 27 entries here for the Illinois 201, and they're going to get rolling here real shortly here. Just waiting on a couple trucks, one being the number 12. He has not found his grid yet. And there he goes. He's on there. Brand new colors, at least on my end. Dustin, if you can kick over to his truck. He was pink. Yeah, he's pink and green on your end. He's black and gray on my end. Not sure why. But,
could be a trading paints issue because mine was a little slow loading up before the race. We all know and love trading paints, but we also all know that it has its, shall we say, complications at times. So,
yeah, it's software. Things happen, and mine took forever to come up too, and it finally did. And I got one truck, the 26. He's just running a generic purple and green Like, not even, it's just sim stamp paint job. You, on the other hand, you have his actual blue truck. So we'll get through this together here. At least we're going to go off the colors on your screen on YouTube and Facebook because, well, that's where the content's at. So my screen does not count. We'll go for that. And then we're going to take a half a pace lap here, Dustin, and then we're going to go off for 134 laps here tonight.
Yeah, I look forward to a really good race here from these guys. They always put on a good show. Look at that. You can see that curve in that backstretch. This is another reason why I love this facility. It's not a straight shot. You are literally, this is one of the 1.5 mile tracks where you are literally turning the entire time. You are never running straight. You are constantly turning that wheel. So definitely a unique facility. Wish they would bring it back. Still hopeful that they will. It's still standing, unlike Auto Club. But we'll see what happens, Jeremy.
That we will. It is 3:33 p.m. local time here at Chicagoland. Pace truck is down. Green flag it out. This thing is underway. Great start here. The 12 and the 65 are going to remain almost door to bumper here, getting to turn number 1, 2x2, of course, all the way through. No real breakout. Oh, the 26 Dan Mateo already hitting the 12. He's going to lose it across the field in the first caution in turn 2. The 26 Knight is almost done, Dustin. He's off the ground. Bumpers flying off the 13. Stephen Hayes, he's going to lose some bumpers as well. The 64 Danny White looks like he's involved in this, all just cold tires washing up the track.
Yeah, and I was going to sit here and say it, how good of a start that the 26 of De Matteo actually had. And because he was all over the back bumper of McGinley. And then, like you said, those cold tires, that was all she wrote when it come to that. We're going to see what we can't bring up here. This is after it started. We're going to do a little Nerd TV VHS rewind as he's coming through. And actually, we're going to sit here and go far chase on this one here.
The newcomer, Brandon Crichton, he's going to make a heavy impact on this, too.
It almost looked like a little air pocket in between the 26 of De Matteo and the 12 of Slade, and that's what got him out of funk there. He was sliding down, tried to save it. Man, I don't know who just sneaked by. Ooh, heavy hit by Steve Knight in that 79. And then heavy outside wall impact there.
Yeah, that white and green truck there on the top half of the track. First contact to the 26 was the 02 Brandon Crichton. Remember, he's 2 for 2 since joining Global Sim Racing Truck Series on these Sunday evenings. And he's going to get a heavy impact to the front and then double it up, hitting the left rear there. And then that's where Stephen Knight just comes in with the snowplow, picks up the 26, carries him down the back straightaway. 25 parks it there, barely making any contact. That's the Abram Ghostin. And here's one more look at it full speed.
Yeah, I know something must have been busted in the 02 of Brandon's, because I mean he straight towed, went right to the pits on that one. So I don't know what happened on that, but I do know that we had a lot of trucks that were trying to veer. Go different ways. You see Clayton White go instantly down to the apron there, off the track, well away from it. And for good measure right there, he was one of them that was right there that was able to just keep on trucking and choo-chooing right on through.
Like 5 trucks totaled with some kind of damage. Couple snuck through. Some unfortunate. Brandon Crichton, Stephen Knight, 79, and the 02 out for this evening. They have backed it up, got out of their trucks, and have left the facility. So 2 down, 25 to go. And it all because of the cold tires. He washed up the track a little bit. He found the air pocket when he got right next to the door of Josh. His truck just hit that little pocket and forced its way down the track, got loose, and that's all she wrote. Hopefully, we don't see that kind of restart here. We do have one to go, Dustin. We'll be resuming on lap 5.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate thing. We can safely say we will not be seeing a 3-4-3 tonight from the 02 camp, who has been on a hot streak, like you said. 2 starts, 2 victories. Will not be repeating for the third one. I will say that from last week to this week, glad to see Chad McGinley back, but Jeremy, they're still missing one of their drivers. We have not seen JJ McCoy now in 2 weeks. He wasn't there last week, and he's not here this week either. So J.J. McCoy missing from the Grim Reaper Motorsports camp.
And hopefully all is well on the 22 side of things. Maybe if we see a yellow spoiler in victory lane, or the top 3 anyways tonight, we'll get to ask about J.J. McCoy on his return to the Sunday night racing here. And we're going to see the pace truck dip down here for the second time this evening. Lap 5 will restart this race. Green flag is out. We're underway. Joshua does not get a good start. He gets bumped quickly by the 89 of Mantle there. And McGilly's going to break out to a 1 and a 1.5 truck length advantage by himself. 75 getting there. Looks like he's all but clear of Joshua Slade. The outside here works very well. We're 3 wide, Dustin, for 10th.
3 wide for 10th. They're all the way back here fighting. That's Holmesy on the inside, the 95. And Jason Schilling was in the middle. And then that bobble there, and it's going to check up that entire high line there. That bobble there came from the 98 of Jamie Horn. Bobbled it as he comes back down. But Jeremy, this racing here is getting tough.
Yeah, they're going to see a lot of multi-grooves here. This is just natural of Chicagoland. That second and third groove, especially in turn 1 and 2, works oh so well. But looks like the top 10 have almost single filed out. And look at that no number truck there.
That's what I was just looking at. I want to double check. It wasn't the 98 of Jamie Horn. It was the 99 of Austin McGill. But there's no number on that truck. It's just blank.
All right, Dustin, this is my segment when I see a paint scheme fault. I'm here to call you out. Austin McGill, Eastern Stars Motorsports driver, fix your stuff. How are you going to put a spec map there without the actual number? That is amazing stuff there.
Amazing stuff, though, is this racing. And, again, very reminiscent of, like, what we would see at Auto Club, Jeremy. You see them go down that curved backstretch. It was pretty much single file. You had, 4 trucks that were out of line trying to make a pass, and then they get to the corner, and they just fan out. You see them 2, 3, 4 different lanes, different lines running through. I mean, look at this right here. There's 4 different lines right here that drivers are running. So this is why this facility is so good, is they try to go back at it 3 wide again.
Man. Look at that launch. Anthony Emmerich gets off a turn 2. He was probably, if it was any other track, 1.5 miles, he would have been stuck 3 wide, but he launched out of a can, and now he's under attack, or trying to pass the 33 around on Holmes. Oh, but here we go. Turn 4 exit. 1 truck was loose. They saved it. We're good. But excellent amount of racing early on in this. I know we have fresh tires, but you're going to see this kind of racing, I think, through a majority of this track and this race. This is just very, very nature-like of this facility.
Absolutely. And going back up front to the action up front, while we were covering the 3 wide racing and everything for that around that 10th place, which always poses some great racing, we have a new race leader, Jeremy. Nick Boyd in that 76 has taken the race lead and has separated himself from second place. Joshua Slade. McGinley has fallen back and slotted in the 3rd spot right now.
Yeah, not terrible here for the 76 to come through. 9th to 1st for that guy leading the race right now. Let's see how long he holds that, because the second, 3rd place trucks are the fastest in the league on average. Of course, that's where they're at in the points. 1st and 2nd, 3 wide here for 6th and 7th. Mantle in the middle as they get through still. Oh, now they break down to 2 wide there. The 46, Bradley Minor does clear. 89. Almost chops the nose there into turn number 1. The 77, Shane Wielden, he's going to access the 3rd lane. Look at him. Going to use it to clear the 89, and he's going to stay behind Bradley Minor as they get to turn 3.
Yeah, he had a heck of a run, did Shane Wielden there on that high side. He goes right back up to that 3rd groove right now, and he's going to get a good run. You're going to see him close back in on the 46 of Brad Minor. So good racing right now. This is all for the battle for that 5th place, currently held by the 46 of Brad Minor, but the 77 of Wielden and the 89 of Mantle are chopping at the bit, trying to chase down that 46.
Yeah, Bradley, we've talked about him, at least I have in the past month or so, and he just continues to get faster and faster. Now he's sponsoring Speed, which Speed is not dead, by the way. Well, okay. It's not Speed on yours, it's 1 of 1, so I can't talk about it. He's got a new scheme on my end, but so the 1 of 1 scheme here, 46, he's running P5, and this is kind of where he's been this past month. I'm proud to talk about him more and more as he keeps getting better and better. His teammates at 101 just keep improving, and they keep teaching, and it's clearly showing. This team has become one of the dominant teams here on Sunday nights.
Yeah, and it really has. I mean, we talk about it. I mean, Jeremy, we sat here and seen, the sweep of the team last Sunday. 1 week ago today, they swept the top 4 spots. One of one did. So, I mean, they have been progressively improving more and more as we see a good battle right now between the 77 of Wilden and the 46 of Minor. Wilden had to back out of it. He drifted up, was going to get right into the door panel of the 46. Had to back out of it. So, again, good battles going on. But right now, Jeremy, Nick Boyd, he is not looking back. He is taking the lead and just taking off. And that's a driver for Lazy Lizard Racing. A lot of restructuring has happened over the last number of weeks, Jeremy. We've had driver movement between teams, new teams being set up, such as Team Whatchamacallit. And there's, I think there's at least one other team that has also been set up as well. Driver movement between Mike Lester, who had to take a hiatus away to handle more personal stuff with family and everything else on the health side. He stepped away. Drivers kind of moved around. Spots opened up on Lazy Lizard. They've been filling those spots, bringing them back in. And right now, Jeremy, Lazy Lizard Racing's out leading the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, Nick Boyd has only had one start prior to tonight. This is his second official start for the Sunday Night Global Sim Racing Truck Series. And so we don't know much about this 76, but we know he's fast at Chicago. We'll see if that holds through this entire race. Here you see the one, Michael Hayes. He's up 2 positions. He passes Chad McGinley, who falls to 4th. And now he's going to make quick attack here on the inside of the 12, Joshua Slade. This is going to be for 2nd place, of course. And the 76 has kind of dropped back a little bit. Michael Hayes might be able to pick up 3 spots here in just a couple laps.
Yeah, Mike Hayes has been coming on. Whoa, a little bit of a slip up there. Slide job right in front of the 12 of Joshua Slade, but they all hang on to it. But right now, Mike Hayes is on a tear. They're trying to chase down the 76, and I think they're going to get him, Jeremy. They might have a nose on the inside coming into turn 1 by the time they're done coming out of turn 2, because they're there. So Nick Boyd definitely got out to an early lead, but seems like he might have burnt his stuff just a little too fast. And these drivers right now, they are nose to tail. And Jeremy, they're just going to train right on by that 76.
This is where you get a little tough. The one's going to get some side draft down the curved back straightaway here on lap 18. And if he can get him at least 2/3 of the way clear, I think he's going to get him the next corner. It is tough, though, how the outside performs so well at this 1.5 mile track. It's tough to make passes happen. I thought the 12 was going to go 3 wide there for a moment. He elects not to squeeze the gap. He's going to push the 1 to the lead. The 12 is going to try to slide up in front of Nick. Does not make it happen. They're going to be door-to-door to turn 3.
Oh, yeah, door-to-door, almost contact. And, man, not a moment too soon. We have a caution come out, Jeremy. We're going to have to try to see where this was happening.
I think I got Jason Schilling slow on the back straightaway here off of turn 2. And it looks like it will involve, well, it's a popular name when it comes to cautions, and I don't want to say it. I'm going to let you call this one, Dustman. Here he is. 95 is one of them.
Oh, let's see what happens. 95 is one of them. They go into the corner there. Oh.
Bonk.
Yeah, a little bit of back contact there. I don't know, Jeremy.
Yeah.
That one there going through. Oh, I seen some tire slide.
Racing.
Yeah, I seen some tire slides, so look at the back tires. We'll see if it actually generates on here. But there were some tire treads and skid marks being left when I was rewinding it back up. And the 95 did look like he drifted up, but the 33 definitely did come down a little bit as well. Yeah, so you can see the tire treads when I rewind the footage back up there. So it I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that was close racing. I mean, they were close as it was anyway. The 95 definitely looked like he came up a little bit, but that could have been a natural coming up the track on corner exit. The 33 was coming down, and Jeremy, they just proved the laws of physics that guess what? Two forms of matter cannot occupy the same real estate. Just not possible.
100% factual. Yep, one truck coming up. Just a little bit of push on exit, and then Ronald Holmes got really good rotation off the third groove. Came
Really
down
good.
into
I'm
the
like,
second groove.
he was on it.
He was on it, and yep. Physics were applied, and one person had to be given, and that was the 95 to kick sideways, and he's going to slap 4 fresh virtual Goodyears on that truck, and then he should be basically good to go minus some minor repairs to that Ford F-150. And I'm going to shout out one of our partners since we got a lap or two left before we go back to Green Flag Racing. New partner as of last month, EPI, raceepi.com. So if you want to find Victory Lane across a lot of different cars and tracks throughout the iRacing platform, look nowhere else than Elite Performance Industries. They're going to hook you up with some of the best setups this service has to offer, and great prices considering how many times you're going to find yourself in Victory Lane. It's well worth the money that you put into it. So head yourself over to raceepi.com today and get yourself into Victory Lane.
Yeah, great products over there from Race EPI, Jeremy. So, bet you some of these drivers that have handling issues right now kind of wish they might have had some setup adjustments.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. And that place, Race EPI, is definitely going to put you right where McGinley's at, right where Slade's at, right where Nick Boyd has been. But Nick Boyd, speaking of him, looks like he's P6 here, going to be on this restart. Didn't get the best stop there when he was on pit road, and so he's going to have to fight a little bit of traffic. We know he's got a really fast short run truck. Can he kind of tame it down a little bit and do the Michael Hayes approach and come in 20 laps later and take a stab at it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting enough to see. Something else that's interesting is the 33 of Ron Holmes stayed out. Everybody else came in. So right now, Holmes is out there on older tires compared to everybody else. Chad McGinley, who is slotted in P2 right now, and everybody behind him all came into the service of their virtual pit crews, got 4 fresh Goodyears on there, filled it up with virtual Sunoco race fuel, made adjustments to their setups. Ron Holmes is out there leading the pack right now, and he's on older tires. And Jeremy, we know that older tires can make or break a restart. One thing you have to really worry about on older tires that you don't so much on newer tires is tire slippage, tire spin. And if a person in front of you does not go and everybody else sees that green flag and anticipates it, that's where we get stack ups and that's where we get restart cautions.
I understand if this is a super speedway race, you have all your teammates together. Like, I get it. But this is Chicago, and you have old tires going to be leading the pack, with these top 3 being the same teammates from Grim Reaper. I'm just kind of curious what this call looks like behind the scenes. Like, what is the ultimate intent to keeping this 33 restarting P1? He's like a mid-pack speed, so, and plus the tires are worn down. So I'm just going to really be curious to watch him navigate traffic in reverse the next 5 laps or so. We're going to find out. See who this might benefit too. This might benefit someone to take advantage of a tire spin or a slowdown on the inside lane. We're going to find out. The pace truck makes a really strong cut down pit road. We're going to resume on lap 24. Green flag is out. We're underway. The 33 actually gets a pretty decent jump there. He's going to clear his teammate Chad McGinley, at least to get into turn number 1. But then as you get through turns 1 and 2, expect this 65 to make a charge. And a little contact between the 1 and the 12 already as they're trying to argue for the second groove around the track, because they almost split it 3 wide with Bobby.
They are going
Mantle,
3 wide.
Now they go 3 wide, puts them in the middle.
Yeah, Bobby Mantle in the middle. You got Mike Hayes up top, Slade in the middle, and you got, slow. This is going to really back that line up. Wow. Holmesy really had to get out of the throttle and back that line up big time. You see him down on the apron now, but that 3 wide racing that we had, that entire inside line that was headed by the 12 of Joshua Slade got just sucker punched right in the nose.
Yeah, I'm sure Joshua Slade sitting there clapping, saying exactly what I thought was going to happen is going to happen. But now here's the third caution presented by Boomer Button Boxes. And, well, And we're going to go back-to-back cautions with the number 33, Ronald Holmes here. Slowed down to 1 and 2 as he got loose. And then he gets through turn 2 this time. And it looks like he is just going to self-spin on corner X. Actually, nope, I'm going to take that back. Little contact between him and Danny White.
Yeah, looks like there was a little contact between him and the 64 of Danny White. We're gonna have to back that up there and kind of see what happened. I don't know if it was a drift up or what was going on, but we're gonna kind of take a look at this. Oh, there was that air pocket, Jeremy. There was a little drift up there from the 33. It looked like the 64 was doing a pretty good job. Actually went up past that groove there. And there was that little bit of air pocket. I mean, there's still 8-10 inches of air space in between them. And it just shot the 33 right down the track. He tries to save it, loops it around, keeps it down low, not to bring anybody else into it, and locks it down on the bottom side. So good job not bringing anyone else in on that. But Jeremy, our race leader is coming down pit road right now. That would have been Chad McGinley is coming down. So, number of drivers coming down. You got Jacob Grant in the 19, William Gay in the 48, Jason Schilling in the 95. You've got Abram Ghostin coming down in the 25, and then, of course, Ron Holmes on that one coming down. Clearly trying to get some fresh sneakers on that truck for sure.
I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this new aero package on the 1.5 miles here. Like, the air pocket door-to-door, it's quite large when the punch is applied, right? But then I also noticed that 33 of Holmes, when he was sliding on the apron at a 90-degree angle perpendicular to the outside wall, his truck, his left 2 tires picked up off the ground like he was going to do a blowover. Now, that'd be fine if it was like 190 miles an hour, but his truck was doing about 130, 140, and it picked up off the ground. It's just, the blowover strength is so strong. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that, and that could be causing some of these handling issues here tonight.
Yeah, you are correct on that. I mean, that's one thing that a lot of the iRacing community has really made a statement to was since the last update, which gave a huge aero update to these trucks here, which granted, the way that they ran previously was not realistic. But I almost feel that the update has kind of gone a little overzealous in some areas, and I feel that the blowovers are definitely one of those. I mean, Jeremy, you and I know that we've been racing super speedways and leagues for the last number of months now. Prior to that update, I mean, how many blowovers or flips did we actually even see? You know, we could go weeks before we would see one. And I remember after the update, I caught a super speedway race, and in a 190 or 100 lap race, there were 4 blowovers in one race. So, I mean, it definitely seems like it's a little overzealous on that. And at times like this here, a little unrealistic. At 135 mile an hour, these trucks have anti-flip plates. I mean, so they got flaps on there that will pop up, allow that air to transition around instead of picking up on the truck. I mean, at 135 mile an hour or so, which is where Holmes was at, 140, those things would have deployed, and he wouldn't have even been close to even picking up a tire.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And so maybe next season they'll back that down a little bit, hopefully there. I like seeing blowovers. Those are fun, but definitely not realistic at 140 miles an hour, that's for sure. And we should be able to get the 1 to go signal this time, I believe.
Well, fun depending on your perspective, Jeremy. It's fun to watch if you're sitting here driving by it and you're seeing it. Maybe not so fun if you're the one that's actually in it.
Man, that race that we just did last night, I think it was last night, I got turned. I did 90 degrees myself. I did a half flip barrel. I landed back on the wheels, straightened it back out. It didn't even go underneath 100 miles an hour. So that part's fun, but it wasn't hurt. So yeah, you're right. It all depends on what the situation is.
We're not going to talk about last night's race. Jeremy, you and I have already talked about it. That was the hardest fought 11th place finish I've ever had to do on pit road, repairing over 10 minutes of damage by the time we got to the checkered flag. Hardest fought 11th place ever.
Was a part of 4 cautions, and it wasn't light contact either. You spent half the damn race in pit road and came home 11th. So that'll be it, though. He doesn't want to talk about it. So we'll leave it like that. But here we go. Um, Austin McGill is leaving a very large amount of space between him and the 76.
Yeah, you could fit a whole
Finally
truck in
closing
there.
it up. Yeah, I mean, he finally sucked it in, but you gotta button it up a little more behind Nick here before this start. I'm sure the admins would love to see that. Here we go. Number 1, Michael Hayes. Excellent jump. Oh,
Ooh.
14 gets it from behind there. That's Clayton White gets quick tagged, and they're going to go 3 wide. They're going to split Bobby Mantle real quick.
Wow.
Joshua Slade does. Squeaks on by as he gets to turn 1.
Yeah, Slade seen the check up there, which led to the 89 of Mantle giving the rear bumper of Clayton White the business, and he jumped to the inside and just went right on by Mantle on that one. So excellent heads up driving by the 12, though. I mean, you can't fault him on that one, because we got some potential 3 wide battling going on back here, Jeremy, around the 8th and 9th position.
Yeah, it's the 77 to Shane Wielden, who now 2x2 with the 46 of Bradley Minor. As he continues to run his truck up on that 3rd groove, he has the 88. Curtis Noble doing the same thing, and look at this launch the 77 gets once again.
Ooh.
He passes the 89.
4 wide.
4 wide, 3 wide still to get the turn 3. Minor in the middle, makes contact.
No! Oh, there it is. Oh!
Mark Sherwood get the tarps over the truck. That is an excellent hit there in turn 3. I thought the 54 was going to take the hardest impact, but the 44, my gosh, Justin, gets kick flipped by Bradley Minor.
Who also gets kick flipped.
God, that was heavy impact. One of the worst I've seen in Chicago.
That was brutal. Oh man!
Look at this.
So everything was fine, Jeremy. Here, everything is still good. It's when the 88 of Curtis Noble comes down and really cuts off the amount of movement that middle truck can do. And when he does, I don't know if there was a little bit of an air pocket or not, but all it did was just pinch everybody down. You see the 54 of Brody Marinko go down. Oh, look at that shit whip. The 44 and the 46 went through. Oh my goodness.
We got to get on board with the 46, the 44, and the 54 if we can. That was just that was wild to see Mark Sherwood up halfway on the catch fence, almost trying to clear the damn thing. Here we go. There's the that was just straight up contact there, and then boom, boom, Minor. Oh, okay, we switched it over. There's the do a barrel roll. Hits and then takes a look at all the debris coming off these trucks, man. Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, yeah. We've got to take a look at the 44 on that one. Mark Sherwood. That was brutal. We're actually going to go helmet cam on Mark Sherwood because that was just, I mean, it's simulated, but that was just such a brutal. This is full speed. No slow-mo. No nothing. This is real time. That's how fast it happened. Look at him just turn those wheels, trying to figure out what in the heck is going on.
He had something under that cockpit. That was kind of alarming. If it was an actual truck, count your blessings there, but and we're going to go on board one more time. Looks like a little bit of slow motion action here. Boom, contact. There's the kick flip.
Oh, yeah. That was the other truck.
Through the door panels, out the other. And now he's going to wall right here. That is, I think, the worst wreck I've seen at Chicagoland.
Oh, by far the worst wreck. So, unfortunate, heavy damage. We had 2 trucks go airborne on that one. The 46 of Brad Minor, as well as the 44 of Mark Sherwood, also went airborne on that one. Sherwood taking definitely probably the most vicious hit out of those 2, but still 2 trucks going airborne in one incident like that, Jeremy. That was pretty bad, but that kind of shakes up the standings here. We've had, while we were reviewing and showing all the folks at home, all the carnage that took place on that one there, we've had some shakeups here. Now with Nick Boyd taking that top spot, Mike Hayes now being P2, and Austin McGill P3, Joshua Slade P4, and EJ Luna, for the first time tonight, Jeremy, has broken into the top 5, sitting P5.
20th place to 5th for that 24, up 15 positions. Austin McGill in the 99, he's also up 15 positions. 8th place, Danny White, he's from 21st, so he's up 13. Quite a few trucks. Another 15's up. Jacob Grant in the 19. There's so many positions that have been massively exchanged in the short amount of green flag laps that we've had. I think the longest green flag run was just under 20 laps, about 18 or so. But it's just been riddled with 4 cautions here for the first 34 laps, 100 to go, as they get to the line for the 1 to go to green flag signal. But as we're going over the rest of the Nerd TV top 10 recap here, you know your top 5. You got Shane Wheeldon in 6th. He's up 5 positions. Curtis Noble, he's up 6. There in the 88 truck, who was the one to blame for that last wreck. Danny White, P8, after making contact with the 33 about 15 laps prior. In 9th place, Jason Schilling. He's up 7 positions himself. And I already talked about Jake McGrant up 15. A lot of movement there in the top 10. That is your top 10 recap so far for the first 34 laps here for the Illinois 201, Dustin. Half lap before green.
Yeah, so still trying to figure out, Jeremy, we haven't had a chance for these drivers really to see if their setups and their trucks have that long run capability. Like you said, the longest run we've had was right at about 18 to 20 laps, that we've actually had. So we don't know what some of these other drivers have. All we've really seen is short stint, and we know there's a lot of fast drivers out there on that short run, but what do we have for the mid run? What do we have for the long run? We don't know that yet. It's an unknown. His pace truck pulls off. Jeremy, green flag flies. Nick Boyd out to an excellent start right now. Clears the one of Mike Hayes as they dive it off into turn 1.
88 does not have a good start there mid-pack, but the outside there, 3 trucks to 1 through turns 1 and 2. Looks like a very clean set of corners here to start. And Austin McGill trying to do everything early on to get past the 76 and Nick Boyd. He's going to take a strong dive at the bottom of turn 3. Going to get all the way to the white line. Nick Boyd flirting with the 4th groove. Comes off turn 4 exit. Nick Boyd's going to hold off McGill this lap.
Yeah, that was excellent work there. We have another caution coming out. That was excellent work by the 99 Austin McGill, man. He was side drafting like a pro. That was 3 against 1 and still put his truck in contention on that one, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a look here. 3rd caution. The 33 has been a part of 3 of the past 4. We've revisited the 33, Ronald Holmes here, and we're going to go near TV rewind here. 3 wide off of turn 4, right behind him. As he's going to see the 23. He comes up in a hurry. Ronald had no idea the massive run
No.
the 23 had there on exit of 4 of Anthony Emmerich, and just, thought he was going to be clear for sure. Gets the corner exit, little too late there on the reaction.
So just so you folks at home know and understand, this was going into the corner. Look how far back the 23 was. So when he was sitting here, last time Ron looked back there, the 23 is way back there. He comes off the corner not realizing the 23 had made up that much ground in just a half a corner like that. That just goes to show that stuff changes in the blink of an eye. And there's stuff that these drivers have to keep their eye on at all times. They're constantly looking at the truck ahead of them. They're constantly looking at the next corner. They're constantly checking their mirror. They're constantly looking left or right. They're constantly checking further down the track. There's always stuff that they have to keep looking at. And because they have to keep rotating between all these things, sometimes stuff like that is missed, especially when it happens as fast as what that did.
100% there. And the 33's crew members, yet again, the busiest crew of the night working on that 33 truck. We're going to kick it to our first picture-in-picture commercial break. And we'll be right back for the drop of the green flag for the 5th time this evening. Back to full screen here, half lap left before we go back to green flag, which will resume on lap 40. 22 people currently watching on the YouTube platform alone, so appreciate you guys jumping in and watching. Chats have been a little quiet. That's okay, but if you want to shout out anything or anyone, feel free to do so. Chats are open, and I will read them, or Dustin will catch them if I don't, which he's picked up my slack from time to time. But we have Nick Boyd on the inside here starting this race, P1. Austin McGill going to be P2 there on the outside. Michael Hayes, EJ Luna going to round out the second row. Danny White, Shane Wielden is your top 6. Pace truck is down. Waiting for Nick Boyd to get this thing rolling off for Lazy Lizard Racing. Gets a great restart with the one of Michael Hayes assisting Nick across the line. Third place going to clear second before they get to turn 1.
Yeah, that was an excellent start on that inside line. They got a good jump there and a good push from the number 1 of Mike Hayes. Did the 76 of Nick Boyd. That's going to put Austin McGill in third. Wow. Mike Hayes got all out of funk there pulling out. He had a little bit of wobble there. But right now, he's battling side by side with the 76. Looks like he's going to have him cleared. Oh, hard impact there. Austin McGill into the turn 4 wall.
No number ID truck hits the outside wall there on corner exit in P3. Danny White, P4 here, looking to try to take advantage of that contact potentially. Still 3 wide here. That's going to be Shane Wielden leading the top as the 88 looks to try to go 3 wide. Does not do it this time. That's Curtis Noble. Going to be passing the 48 there on the inside. That's William Gaze. He's not in the preferred groove here, it looks like. Joshua Slade trying to assist Curtis through turns 3 and 4. Gets him a great launch. Let's see if they can carry that to turn 1 and 2 to get cleared of William. As they get into the corner, the 12 backs down just a touch. Going to try to rotate center, get a great launch on exit. Curtis does get cleared. Now looks like Joshua's going to do the same. Great job there through 1 and 2 on the third lane.
Yeah, and one thing I'm noticing, Jeremy, is some of these trucks seem like they are getting out of sorts there in between turns 1 and 2. They got that bump there, and then they have that little bit of a bump there coming out of 4 as well, depending on how low you are. You know, that's one thing that we have to think about as well. These tracks, even though they look smooth on camera, I guarantee you, and I promise you guys and gals out there watching, they are not smooth. We have showcased that time and time again. We showcased that on Tuesday with the RSR guys when they went to Auto Club, how bumpy the backstretch was. You've seen that little dip. You've seen the trucks dip down going into turn 3. These things are not smooth, and that upsets the truck as well. So that adds in a whole nother factor that these guys have to deal with.
I don't know what you're talking about. This track is brand new and perfectly smooth. There's no bumps here at all.
No.
No, not one. But here we go. Still 3 wide, really. This is the most 3 wide I've seen probably this season, not in a super speedway fashion. They're just continuing to utilize this track to its fullest extent. All 4 lanes at some points are being used simultaneously, though the 14 a little loose. Clayton White there. So he figures it out. He's currently P11 at the line this time. 2 by 2 now they go to turn number 1. A little bit of a gap between these 4 trucks and the 2 or 3 behind them. Rotating the camera a little further forward. That's the 88 Curtis Noble. 8th place for the 88. Right in tow here with the number 12. Joshua Slade as Shane Wielden and EJ Luna go side by side through 3 and 4.
Yeah, look at the lane choice difference. I mean, Shane Wielden, you couldn't get much higher than he was, and EJ Luna, you couldn't get much lower on the track than what he was. So, but I mean, they come off the corner almost in a dead heat. That's why this track here, and you just seen that, Jeremy. That's something that we haven't really touched base on. The 24 there, as he come in through turn 1, he come in on that second lane and went down to that first lane, and you seen his truck transition between that. So you got to be careful going in between those seams as well, because sometimes those seams are where your actual degree of banking varies all the way through like that.
PSHO saying EJ Luna. So we got someone out there cheering on the number 24. Currently 7th place on lap 48. And then Global Sim Racing Esports Network, the guys we're broadcasting tonight, says, let's go Lazy Lizard. And of course, the guy leading this race, number 76, Nick Boyd, second start of the season. You see that dark blue spoiler, Lazy Lizard Racing right across it. So he is leading this pack holding the flag for the team, as he is going to be leading on lap number 49, as Michael Hayes once again trying to take this spot over here.
Yeah, he's been working on the 76 of Nick Boyd, really working that left side over the last 3 to 4 laps now, Jeremy, and still has not been able to get that completed. It almost seems like he can get it done, but that high line run, oh man, that was a door slam shut right in the face of Nick Boyd. And if that would have been off, I'm talking by centimeters, that would have been catastrophic.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the air pocket affect some guys already, so to cut that a little close, I don't know. That was a little etch-a-sketch to me. But single file now through the top 5 and probably the top 10 at this point, as we're going to complete lap 50 this circuit around. Michael Hayes up to a 2 truck length advantage over Nick Boyd, who continuing to hold tight there on that third groove. Shane Wheeldon, also one of the guys running the third groove all race long, stuck behind the 12 of Joshua Slade, who Joshua is not having the night he is wanting so far. First couple laps, he was able to do something, but after these cautions keep cycling through, it's kind of locked the 12 probably around the 5th place position and has not made advancement since.
No, he's been kind of stalemated, and Jeremy, something else too that has been kind of surprising on this, and who is stalemated as well, is that 65 of Chad McGinley. We remember he was up front. He took the pole, was up front.
It's true.
You know, he'd been leading, and he slotted now back in 15th. Remember, he did come down during one of those last cautions to the service of his crew, and we don't know exactly what that was about, what caused him to do that. And right now, I mean, he's slotted in the back half of this field right now, still trying to make his way back up, which, Jeremy, you know as well as I, can be a very, very tough challenge, because it's one thing to catch a driver, it's a whole nother thing to pass him.
That's very true, and with the lanes being utilized so well here, and when you get door-to-door on the inside, if you're faster on the inside, it takes you a couple laps to figure out how to make the pass. Everyone tackles these corners differently, so it's not like it's a textbook pass when everyone does something slightly different. As you go 3 wide once more behind the 64, Danny White, at least they tried to. They could not get to Danny on corner exit 4. Austin McGill's going to follow in tow with the 64. Right behind him is that number 12, Joshua Slade. This is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Kicking it back to the 77, Shane Wheeldon in P7. He's got one truck underneath him, the 95, Jason Schilling. And this is where the tough passing looks right here, right? You're going to see this probably for a good lap or 2. Already been going on for 1 lap. This could go on for a couple more.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, it's a back and forth power struggle. You know, one driver will have a better entry, the other driver will have a better exit, and the next set of corners, they'll flip-flop. And it's just a power struggle back and forth until there's just enough slippage to where one driver outbests the other one. In this one here, you see the 95 of Jason Schilling finally completes that pass on the 77. That knocks Shane back to the 8th position right now, and behind him, Clayton White, Jamie Horn are duking it out side by side. That is for that 9th position, Jeremy.
Yeah, 10-4 there, and Mr. Michael Lester is the one controlling the buttons there for the YouTube page. So appreciate you watching in from the broadcast portion of this thing, as we're 56 laps in. Looks like one couple trucks getting loose there. I was going to mention the one right in front of these guys, but the 19 there, Jacob Grant, almost lost the thing. Now he's 3 wide in the middle here. McGinley on the inside, Curtis Noble on the top. Looks like Jacob just cannot hold it. He's going to back it down, make them go 2 wide on the front stretch.
Yeah, he had a handful coming out of turn 2, though. That thing was wicked slideways. But, man, he's still not giving up, though, because he's all over the back bumper, the 88 of Curtis Noble there. And just look at that bobble coming off turn 2. Same place he got loose last lap as well. Jeremy, that truck is not handling to his liking right now.
Now, he moved up to the 3rd and 4th groove there where there's a slight bit more amount of grip to help that machine. And now the 23 continuing to rip the top here. Anthony Emmerich, about mid-pack, has been able to control his position from that third and fourth groove, gets to the outside of the 75. Patrick Gettner, which, by the way, this man had a pretty decent practice, qualified 4th place in that 75. Now he's struggling to maintain outside the top 15. So Patrick is not having a good long run setup so far here tonight.
No, and he's not the only one. Like I said, we just talked about Chad McGinley, who has moved up 3 spots from when we talked about it, but is still only sitting P12. That's your pole sitter. Had been up front pretty much, since the drop of the green flag. So it almost seems like a number of these drivers, Jeremy, as the race goes on, are having a tough time with their truck for whatever reason. We're just now starting to see Chad McGinley even start to peak at the top 10. But, I mean, it makes it easy when the top 10 is partway mixed into this group of 4 drivers you see here.
Yeah, it's getting really crowded here, led by Clayton White in the 14 there on the inside. Shane Wielden on the outside. And they're utilizing some side draft. They're utilizing the nose-to-tail draft. They're trying to utilize multiple grooves here. The 14 to the... Oh, there we go! And there's almost a blowover. Caution's out for the 6th time here tonight on lap 60. And the 14 is going to come to the rest halfway down the back straightaway here at Chicago. And that's just product of that, Dustin. Looks like the 14 got a little loose. Tail slide. Slides across the 77's nose.
Yeah, as we're watching this in slow motion, you can see how far that tail, he's chasing it up there a little bit. And as he goes up, unfortunately, the 77 was in that position there. And, I mean, there's really no other place the 77 can go. I mean, the 77 has the wall right up there. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot that he can do in that situation.
No, you can back it down, but that's way too much of a checkup. So you're not going to do that. You're just going to hope and pray the 14 stays a lane lower than you. And unfortunately, it does not happen that way.
No. And if you can see this, it's going in slow motion. You should start to see, there they are, the tire marks there from the back end of the 14. That means he's really laying it on there. That means they're losing traction, starting to slide a little bit as he went up. So there was nothing intentional there. That was just the rear tire said, no, I can't handle it, can't take any more. And unfortunately, the 77 was right there. And the person that paid the price on that one was Clayton White. He went for a heck of a ride there, right up towards the wall, heavy nose contact. Rear end comes up off the ground, but he does lock it down, keeps it up there, and allows everybody else to get by without any other harm.
Yeah, thankfully so. Crossing up the track like that could pose some issues for everybody else driving by. But as they go through pit road here, we're going to kick it back to our second picture-in-picture, and we'll be right back for the drop of the green flag for the 7th time this evening. Back to full screen once again to get the 7th green flag to fly here on lap 65. So we're getting really close to the halfway point of this Illinois 201 at the fictional-ish Chicagoland Speedway. I say fictional-ish because it's still a thing. It's just not being utilized. So, but we already talked about that. Michael Hayes is going to be P1, Joshua Slade 2nd, Nick Boyd 3rd, Jason Schilling going to be starting there in 4th place on the outside of Nick. And we're going to see what this start looks like. The 12 is in some clean air position once more. Let's see if we can keep it that way. Michael Hayes been probably the fastest truck here tonight over the course of a 20-lap span. Got a great launch last restart. We'll see what he can do this time. And let's have some green flag laps in our future here. And there we go. The one's going to do a quick clearance of the 12 and the 76. 12 waits to cross the line, goes down single file, dips it right back to the top. Going to figure out what he's going to do to turn number 1. Top 5 single file. EJ Luna's going to file in behind Schilling here to the inside. 2x2 all the way through 10th to 15th.
Yeah, as the pretty much the top 7 pretty much getting a line, Jeremy. We've got 3 wide racing back here. Almost 3 wide. Curtis Noble thought about going to the outside. They're still kind of thinking 4 wide. They're coming through. Oh, it's going to be tight. Oh! They make it stick, though. That was a 19 of Grant, the 89 of Mantle, the 88 of Noble, and then that was also the 99 of McGill. That was your 4 wide, Jeremy, and they made it stick.
Yeah, Curtis Noble, one of the 3 wides prior, was one of the cautions, the biggest one of the night, and probably the whole night, and whole year, rather. But I thought they were for sure going to go around, but did not. And still 3 wide in front. No, Bobby Mantle makes contact to the 48 on the inside to William. And William's going to go down below the white line. Bobby Mantle's going to kind of pinch up to the top of the track, the 98. As they get through turns 1 and 2. They're still going to remain 2x2 here for the most part. A little wiggle out of the 88, Curtis Noble. 23. Anthony's been utilizing that top. He's going to quickly zoom up and have to get on the binders there to not hit the back of Jacob Grant as he goes through 3 and 4.
Yeah, this is some of the most intense racing, Jeremy, and as usual, it's right around that 10th place. Right now, we're watching William Gay, who holds that 10th place, but right now, these drivers here, there's a little bit of contact there, it looked like, between the 19 of Grant and the 23 of Anthony Emmerich. As they get it all sliced and diced out, they get back in line, Jeremy, and just as quick as that racing action was all over the place, we're now single file back here. As we have a new leader up front, 12 of Joshua Slade got by the 76 of Nick Boyd. And what happened to Mike Hayes, Jeremy? He was leading, now slotted P5 under attack from the 64 of Danny White.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a normal thing here at Chicago for the first half of the race for Michael. I don't see any damage to the truck, at least from our camera angle, so I wonder if there's just a little bit of a slip up and has to rebound, but you got something here on the Nerd TV replay. Here's the 12, Joshua Slade looking to the inside. Turns 1 and 2, there's the pass, and that was awkward. The one just backed it down a lot. And then just got gobbled up. He didn't get loose, he literally just slowed up through the corner and kind of stacked some things up there in the top 5.
Yeah, it did. That was odd. I mean, nothing happened. He didn't get loose, no damage, no nothing. But I mean, Jeremy, he went from 1st to 5th in no time whatsoever. And right now, Joshua Slade's still leading. He did have a little bit of separation, but Nick Boyd is trying to chase him back down right now. And in tow behind Boyd, you see that red, white, and blue Pepsi number 24 that is piloted by none other than EJ Luna.
As he remains single file there. The 12 final with clean air on the nose. So for the first time tonight, we'll see what Joshua can do at the top spot here, as they have a nice little 1-second breakaway almost to 3rd place on back. EJ Luna all by himself there for a little bit of time. Jason Schilling 4th. Chad McGinley slides into P5 as Michael Hayes drops back to 6th.
Yeah, Mike Hayes, somebody has to at least tell his spotter or crew chief to let him know he's going the wrong way. He restarted P1 on that last restart, and he has just been going backwards, Jeremy, wrong way, almost like he threw that thing in reverse. And right now, that's not where you want to be because he's holding on to P6. But, Jeremy, there are 5 trucks behind him right now, 6, that are hungry, and they are right there in striking distance. So he cannot afford to give up any more like that. But I don't know if he made an adjustment to that truck under last pit stop or what's going on. But whatever has changed, that's not the same handling truck that we seen 20 laps ago.
Yeah, he might have made an adjustment thinking it was going to help something, and obviously not the case. At least on the opening laps. But this truck has been the fastest truck through 20 laps. So don't count him out just yet. See if he can rebound and get himself into maybe the podium position range. But a lot cleaner look through this entire field so far on this start, and a lot more conservative lines being approached, at least from the ones that were running up the 3rd and 4th groove, keeping it down to the 2nd to 3rd groove range. A lot of single file happening here. And as I say that, you see the 14 go right up to the outside Kyle Larson style line. And he's going to get a good launch himself off of turn 4. And that's what's so great about this place. You can pick and choose a lane, and it does not matter. There's no preferred groove here through both set of corners. And that's why you get a lot of good side-by-side racing here in Chicago.
Yeah, it's what makes this facility such a gem. I mean, so to speak, it's in the driver's hands. You can run any line, any groove through the corners, and each one of them can be fast or faster than the other ones. It's up to the driver on how they tackle it and the setup on how they've set their truck up. So it is. It's a good facility, but Jeremy, I'm like you. I see a much more cautious field of racers right now. Not a whole lot of people are going for passes. Look at that down that curved backstretch. Not a single one of them was out of line. A lot more single file racing that's going on. The only time you see them do that is when they fan out in the corners. And Jeremy, even that's not as much as what it was at the start of the race. I mean, we've seen them hitting almost all 4 to 5 lanes, that they have here. But, I mean, really, you see a lot of drivers doing the same ones. This one right here, there's pretty much only 3 lanes that are being used. So, a lot more room being given, a lot more cautious and conservative since the restart that we had just a number of laps ago.
And since we got the time to do this, I'm going to shout out one of our partners here, Dusty Pete's Gift and Collectibles at dustypetes.com, the official hobby shop for the Nerditudes. They're based out of New York, and they have a lot of things nerdy to offer you guys at home. So if you're big into collectible trading cards or a lot of comics or anything basically nerdy, action figures, well, we're going to have to back that thought down here because they don't want me talking about Dusty Pete's. Caution flag out for the 7th time this evening. Looks like Anthony Emmerich there in the 23, maybe even the 98 there of Jamie Horn. We'll have to take a quick look back here on the Nerd TV replay to see what happened here. And every wreck, Dustin, minus the big one, has been out of turn 2.
Yeah, yep. And I know the Dusty Pete's thing is up because we're going to touch base on that. Oh, looks like he got wall glued and pulled it off and just, collected. More lift up on the back end. And that was the 98 of Jamie Horn got pulled in on that one as well. That was just a wall glue, something that affects drivers on this platform. It just, you have a hard time pulling that truck, that car off the wall, and then once it does release, it releases. And you have to try to counter that, so tough break. But to touch base on Dusty Pete's, Jeremy, we got to wish Dustin Sorber, owner of Dusty Pete's, fellow Nerditudes nerd, a very happy birthday today. Today is his birthday. From what the little birdies told me, he's going to be enjoying some fun time at Dave & Buster's and then back home with the family to play some Super Mario Wonder.
I'm still playing through that game right now. I enjoy that game. I've been only doing it co-op. I have not been doing it single player, so it's very few of opportunity when I pick up that title, but great amount of fun. What do you think you do purchase at Dusty Pete's? Use that promotion code SUPERNERD. It's going to save you 15% off of order $20 or more, so make sure to do that. You see the 46, he's going to go around for a wave around there That's Bradley Minor. He's going to get back to the lead lap. 21 trucks will be on the lead lap when we go back to green flag for the 8th time this evening. And, there he goes. And I think since that promotion got cut off, Dustin, I think we're going to shout out our other one too, just because I would love to do that. I've been missing out on the opportunity to do this, and it's Spring Fever, the official themed audio partner for the Nerditudes. It's a rock band. It's got a, within their album, they have some softer stuff, some heavy stuff, good mix of everything, and they sound really good with New World being the main song here for Nerd TV. So check them out across all the brands: Facebook, X, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Music, Google Play rather. I think that's what it's called. Either way, check them out. Spring Fever Band is who you're going to search for. And first song you should turn on is New World. That is probably one of my favorites. It's not my favorite out of the album.
Well, and just recently released 2 days ago, Shattered Paradise, their new single, just hit platforms everywhere. So as you search some of their other hits, be sure you listen to their new hit as well, Shattered Paradise.
Is that a hint to a new album coming out? Their second one?
I'm not sure. Not sure. I guess time will tell.
Usually singles come out before the album, so maybe. Put them on your favorite list. Maybe they'll have an album out before the end of this year.
Yeah, they definitely have some good sounds to it. Nerditudes has been super stoked that they've come on board and allowed us to showcase all of their sounds and tracks. And Jeremy, unlike you, there has not been a track that has not been a banger to me. And it has been a hit right off the bat, even their softer, more mellow stuff. I love their heavy, metal sound they have. They got a really good sound to them. Always put out some good stuff. So been super happy talking with Matt from Spring Fever. He's the one that does all the voices and vocals for the band, and super happy to have them on. And I do believe that Nerd Esports is actually going to be showcasing a different song. New World will remain the title track for Nerd TV, but I think Credulous is actually going to be the title track going forward for a short stint, or for a stint for Nerd Esports for all of our streams that we do for our races.
Which will also include the 24 hours of spa that yourself, myself, and Kenny Bishop will be partaking in 3 weeks. So stay tuned for that. I don't know if you're going to plan on streaming all 24 hours of that. That'd be insane.
It's going to be streamed 24 hours.
Oh,
as long as there's no issues. If that stream allows it and stays up, then it will be streamed all 24 hours of it. So if you guys want to come and hang out with us and stop in and shout us out and chat with us a little bit, hey, we're going to have all the time in the world to sit here and talk.
And we're going to be rocking the scheme that's what led Trading Paints' most popular paint scheme 5.5 straight days. Finally dethroned this afternoon. I'll take second place, though, tonight. No problem. But here we go. EJ Luna, the first time they're going to be starting P1 here. Over the number 95, Mr. Jason Schilling. Green flag is out. EJ gets a great launch. So for those shouting out EJ Luna in the chats, well, here you go. He's going to be taking the green flag and lead some laps here. Schilling trying to hold off Nick Boyd through turns 1 and 2. I think he's able to do so. Austin McGill trying to clear Michael Hayes. He's going to dip below the 76. He does get clear to the 1 now. Nick Boyd might fall back to 4th.
Yeah, and EJ Luna has just been slowly creeping towards that top spot, Jeremy. We shouted it out the first time he cracked the top 5, and he's been up there ever since then, and now he's up front leading this thing. But we got to give a shout-out to Jason Schilling as well. We've been shouting out Nick Boyd and how well he's been running. Jason Schilling, we haven't really called his name a whole lot over a number of races, and he's slowly been creeping up, making the right calls, and right now he's sitting P2 trying to chase it down. We got a lot of shuffling back there, almost 3 wide as the 19 of Grant had to cut up in front of the 64 Danny White. So a lot of shuffling going on back there around that 8th position.
Yeah, Danny White hit the wall for turn 2 there. They did go 3 wide for a quick moment, clearing the 64 as Danny goes from 6th place all the way back. Well, not all the way back, but he's back to 9th. But he's going to lead 3 wide here on the top to 13. Stephen Hayes in a pickle right now. Oh, the 14 loose on the outside. Almost collects the 13's right rear. They remain 3 wide down the curve of the back straightaway. Now 2 wide officially here into turns 3 and 4. And just like that, they're going to kind of calm it back down just a touch. And I see IMK Smooth. I'm not sure why your pants are wet, sir. But and then Dustin Franklin says, go EJ. So EJ Luna, 2 people cheering you on here tonight in that 24, leading the charge so far on lap 86.
Absolutely. Okay, you know what? I got to say this. It took me a hot minute to get used to this, but the 13 of Stephen Hayes, not used to seeing him in white colors, sporting that monster Ultra Zero scheme. We normally see him in the Whataburger scheme, and I love that Whataburger scheme because you don't see it that often. But you know me, Jeremy, I always like drivers that bring different paint schemes as well. That's why you've painted me a number of them, and I run every one of them because I like changing it up. I don't like having the same thing. But I think ever since we started broadcasting for everybody over here at Global, we've only seen him in the Whataburger truck. So seeing him in the Monster Ultra Zero kind of threw me off for a minute.
I mean, it's my kind of diet. A fat, juicy cheeseburger followed up with an energy drink, and there you go. Great combination there for the 13. At least he kept the orange there. I know it's his team colors, but he got his rear rails there that connect to the bed. Those are orange still. A little splash of the Whataburger. Oh, Clayton White once more loose off turn 2. That truck is very unstable on these opening laps of this restart.
Yeah, well, and I don't think it helps because the 89 of Bobby Mantle is all over the rear end of Clayton White right now. So all that's doing is packing air up on underneath that spoiler, and it literally causes an air lift. And when you're trying to go into these corners, all that does is weight jack and just shifts the weight, and it gets these things squirrely at times. So, I mean, but he has been struggling even without somebody behind him. So you can only imagine how much it goes like that. As you see, he's actually getting pushed by the 89 of Mantle down that backstretch.
Oh, more contact there. The 14 going to fall way back. He's trying to come down pit road, I think. Unable to do so. And he's taking forever to get it going. That was a crazy amount of wall glue. I don't know if that was all wall glue or if he just intentionally backed it down that much, trying to maybe come down pit road, but he lost about a half a track length on this lap while riding 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was tough, as we're actually going to go on board here. So he went up and went way high. The 89 was there. Oh, man, he got wicked loose. That was just Bobby Mantle just came in and it just packed air on that left rear quarter panel and just got him wicked loose.
It really did.
And then Mantle
hits the wall. No, Joshua Slade almost made contact and got loose hitting the 89 there. Man, a lot of different things that were dominoing through 3 and 4 there, and they kind of straightened it back out. Quick shout out to myself. I did say I was dethroned this afternoon. I went back to trading paints. My scheme's back to number 1. So I just wanted to toot my horn. 6 straight days.
You know what? You toot your horn, my guy. You toot it.
6 straight out of all cars on the website. Every single one. I'm number 1 6 days in a row. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know, you toot your own horn. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why Jeremy is the only one that ever paints my cars. I don't run cars painted by anybody else. It is, besides myself, when I would paint my own cars, and then I stopped doing that when I started having Jeremy paint my own cars. I'll help with the design a little bit, but it's all him. There's a reason for that. The guy is very talented and skilled, and don't let him be shy to take that praise, because he's definitely one of the better ones out there for sure. It's 3 wide contact between Noble and Grant. 48 of Gay thought about pushing it 4 wide. Jeremy, they're still 3 wide.
That's a sketch there. The 88 gets a little low into the corner. Backs it down 2 wide momentarily. It is so easy to try 3 wide at this track just because the amount of different grooves utilized. Now the 88 is going to go to the inside. Curtis Noble trying to make the inside get there, but comes back onto the racing surface. Does not have the speed to carry to the inside of the 19. Bradley Minor squeezes the gap here. Almost makes contact with both 48, 88. They go door to door down the backstretch.
Oh my goodness, man. The quick, decisive actions that these drivers are taking. Folks, they've got like nanoseconds to make some of these decisions, and they're making them stick. The amount of talent that these drivers have right now to do this, just ridiculous. But very, very tight, what I call pucker moments. And what I mean by pucker moments is when you see it going, your whole body tenses up, your butt cheeks pucker together because you're like, oh crap, it's about to happen. That's a pucker moment. And Jeremy, this race has had its fill of those moments.
Quite a bit, man. Quite a bit. Whether it be just trucks getting loose on the outside of one another, the major flip we saw in turn 3 and 4, or just a bunch of the 3 wide potential hazard zones that we've seen through almost 100 laps now in this event. The 19 going super high up into that 4th groove into the marbles, almost makes contact to the wall. He brings it back down, gets a great launch off of turn 4. William moves to the inside to let Jacob go. That opens the door for the 25, Abram Ghostin as well, to see if he can advance a little bit further on through the field.
Yeah, as this race is going on, you see McGinley on the inside of Noble back there as well. He's trying to work his way back up, just cracked the top 10 a number of laps ago. But Jeremy, with all this racing going on back here, they are all chasing that man right there, Mr. EJ Luna. Since the drop of the flag on the last restart, has led every step of the way. Mike Hayes seems like he's coming back into the picture. Remember, he had some issues there where he went further back and dropped back. Now he's working his way back up, and Jeremy, he's starting to close that gap a little bit on the number 24 of Luna.
Yeah, and apparently Luna, who's been just flirting with the top 5 all night long, getting that fresh air, and it is working wonders for that 24. But I also said, for the one of Michael Hayes, don't count him out. He is the fastest long-run truck, and here he is. He passed everybody back up. He advanced 2.5 seconds from his furthest point back on that restart to now being up here battling once more for the race lead. Different person he's going to have to go up against this time, and here goes to turn number 1 is there, or nose to nose.
Yeah, it's EJ Luna seems like he excels through 1 and 2. On the last lap, he pulled away from the one of Mike Hayes coming off of turn 2 down that backstretch, but it almost seems like the one of Hayes gets through 3 and 4 better than what Luna does. And as I say that, Hayes goes to the attack going into turn 3 side by side. This is your battle for the race lead. Right now, Hayes has it by a nose as they come to the line. Hayes will lead that lap, but there's still door panel to door panel as they sling it off into turn 1.
Pit stops are underway. I don't know if it's a shortcut, but the 76 and Nick Boyd slowed up and down to speed and time. The first one to hit pit road exactly on lap 100, so 35 laps to go left in the Illinois 201. And so the door is open. Who else will come down pit road? Who else is going to try to shortcut it? Or are these guys going to extend it as far as they can? But you're right on the front straightaway. Nose to nose, and by 5/1000ths of a second, that remains to the number 1, Michael Hayes.
Yeah, these guys are really trying, as you see battling going on back behind, as Schilling now has a mirror full of the 46 of Brad Miner, who has, just been shot out of a cannon, Jeremy. We seen him just 3-4 laps ago going 3 wide, making cuts, and now he's sitting here fighting with the 95 of Schilling to try to break into that podium as the leaders are still duking it out. Now, the green flag pit stops also, I didn't want to forget that, as we have a number of them that are on their way in right now. Looks like William Gay, the 77 of Wilden, in for their pit stops. That will be the last pit stop. These drivers should be able to make it the rest of the way on that one there, unless a caution comes out and they want to try to come in for fresh rubber. It looks like the 24 of Luna's coming in. I would say EJ Luna going to be coming in this time. Expect him to slow down for pit entry. And here it comes, Jeremy. He did that. The way I knew that, folks, is these drivers will make that cut down to the white line, down the backstretch, and back up. That signals everybody behind them that they are coming down pit road, because these drivers cannot talk amongst themselves. They can only talk with their teammates. They try to make it as realistic as possible.
Caution is out. And yeah, we touched base on that last week on how that was a thing. And then clear as day, the 24, by example, did exactly that. But we have another caution on the track, Dustin, right at the beginning of pit road cycle. So we're going to see how this shakes up the field. And it looks like it's going to involve Jamie Horn, the 98.
Oh.
And, well, him and the 12 of Joshua Slade trying to see who gets the top lane on the track. And it belongs to both of them. For a split second as the 12. Oh, no. Does he? He saves it from the inside wall.
Wow. That was...
I thought he was doomed.
I thought he was going in there. You see the 12 right here drifts up, going to that outside, and the 98 comes up, just trying to occupy the same. It was very tight, very close. Just a miscalculation on the amount of room that was there. The 98's front nose just destroyed Jeremy. And then we're going to see Slade coming down. He sees that wall, turns it to the right, knowing he's got a little bit of space, uses the grass to slow him down. Doesn't touch anything, just does a little landscaping on the way through off into turn 1.
Oh, so close there for the 12. And yeah, Jamie Horn just did not realize Joshua was there. And so the rest of the field is going to come down pit road, minus a couple that did stop. Jacob Grant did the right call. He was already on pit road, but he saw the yellow flag. He almost stopped, put it back into gear, and sent that thing out. So he's going to come down pit road once more, I do believe. And then we're going to see this man, EJ Luna, should be cycling back to your race lead, if not close to being your race leader. And basically say a fresh set of tires. He just came down a lap or two prior, but 2 laps should not affect the 24 that much here when everything gets back
he
up
was
and
on
running.
pit road. He was on pit road when the caution came out. He had just entered. Yep, he had just entered pit road.
76, that's right.
Yep, the 76 was. The 76 should be good because, like you said, he was only probably about 4 laps prior to that. EJ Luna was the one that was on pit road. Jacob Grant, who's on your screen right now, was a driver that was almost in his pit stall, almost to a stop, seen the caution flag come out, dropped it back into gear, dropped the clutch, and took back off again. So right now, he's going to be slotted as your race leader with Brad Miner sitting in P2 and EJ Luna sitting P3. And right now, Jacob Grant coming down to the service of his crew. Now, he was out, he led a lap, got the bonus points for that. He's coming down. That's going to put Brad Miner P1 with EJ Luna P2 as your front row on this next restart, Jeremy.
That is exactly true, I do believe, as they cycle through now. Bradley Miner. There's been so many people, Dustin, tonight that have led a lap virtue to these caution counts. 8 is a lot on a Sunday night here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series, and every single restart almost we have had a new leader, just naturally because of the short amount of green flag laps between its caution break. So we're gonna have a couple laps to go before green flag. We're gonna take our final picture-in-picture, and we'll be right back for the drop of the green flag for the 9th time this evening. And back to full screen here. Got one set of corners before we're going back to green flag here. And quick refresher, Dustin reminded me on this commercial break. This 46 that's leading this race, he was one of the ones in that big crash there in turn 3 and 4 where he flipped. He did a barrel roll. Stephen Hayes did this at Bristol, and now Bradley Minor's doing it here in Chicago. Flipped the truck over, now going to restart this thing P1, and here he is. He's going to lead this charge. Michael Hayes on the inside gets a great restart again. He's going to make quick work of Bradley, though, getting to turn number 1 inside the number 46. Luna's going to go to the inside, clear of the 46, and just like that, good night, Bradley. He's got to fight through the field in reverse as well.
Yeah, which he did before. He was making his way up. But yeah, he barreled. He was one of 2 trucks. The other truck was Mark Sherwood that went airborne and flipped, and there was a lot of damage on him. So, I mean, even with where he's running, it's still amazing that he's able to maintain where he's at. But right now, Mike Hayes controlling this field, but man, he has got a mirror full of EJ Luna. Luna, we see him go into a lane we haven't seen him really flirt with as much. He had been running the low side, but seeing as Mike Hayes is running his preferred groove, we're seeing Luna now go to the outside here, and these two are picking up right where they left off before that last caution came out.
Secret weapon for the 24 to go to the third lane, and it's holding off Michael Hayes at the time being. Lap 110 underway, 25 to go on the boards. And remember, this one has a great long run truck. If they go green the rest of the way, I would expect this one to be P1. But in the meantime, the 24th had such a great short run truck with clean air. He clears the one momentarily. They go back single file. But look at this, Dustin. The 65 McGinley took all race to get back to the podium position, but he is P3 now behind the number 1.
Yeah, but we got a lot of racing going on back behind him, too. I mean, these drivers are not driving away. And by these drivers, I'm talking about your top 3 podium. And right now, Schilling all over the back end of the 65, and they are almost 3 wide back behind Schilling, and that's for the 5th position.
Yeah, the 2 wide right now. Him, the 89. Still trying to figure out who's going to be in 4th position. Gets through 3 and 4, still door to door. Dead heat to the line. Who's going to take 4th and 5th place? Tied. Exactly. 5.546 at the line behind your race leader. And that did go to Jason Schilling, but dead heat there between those 2 at the line.
Yeah, but I think that run is going to go to the 89 of Mantle, which it does, is now you see Stephen Hayes diving down below the 88 of Noble. Noble coming close down there, trying to utilize Paxamera on the right front of the 13 of Stephen Hayes. They're in a dead heat right now. That is currently your battle for 6th place. And right behind them, Joshua Slade, who was just involved in the most recent caution that brought us all back bunched up again between himself and the 98 of Jamie Horn. And these guys, they're duking it out. Slight contact there, still going at it.
Yeah, there we go, through 3 and 4. Door to door, 13, 12. Trying to pass the 88 collectively here. Who's going to win this battle between these 2 guys? Looks like the nose advantage is to the 12. He's in the preferred groove when the outside here. Mantle going all the way up to the 4th groove into the marbles to try to find some extra grip on turn 2X. He does a great job of cutting the corner down just a little bit to find a straight exit, and it's going to work well. It's going to zoom in right to door panel 88. Curtis Noble 3 wide now. Jason Schilling in the middle. You have to check up big time, make sure he holds that wheel straight. They do so, but the advantage is to the 89 at the line this time.
Yeah, 89 to Mantle gets that position. 95 of Schilling will take over.
No.
Oh, and we have another caution come out, Jeremy, on this one here. And I don't know, who's this involved in here? I don't know if it's Brad Mine or not. He's way off pace, I know that.
Yeah, there's quite a bit are checked up early, so I'm going to take a quick look myself and see what happened here. I don't think it was the 46.
No, it
There was
wasn't.
3 wide through, and okay, yep, it was the 77 to Shane Wheeldon, and duking it out with the 26 there at John Day and Mateo on the front straightaway. And there it is. You saw in the quick glimpse on the VHS rewind, and 3 wide, and washed up the track, gets loose, overcorrects, slaps the door panel of Shane. He keeps it straight, but John DeMatteo goes for a ride.
I don't know
on
if
the
that
front
was washed
straightaway.
up the track. I mean, if you sit here and look, watch the 77, he cuts down.
He does cut down.
That was hard contact on the right side of DeMatteo, which gives him the
Yeah.
weeble wobbles there, back and forth, and then finally just back up to make contact. And that's going to send the 26 off and around right now. Because he's going to sit here and spin. That's not good. 26 was already, he saves it though, but still brought that caution out, which isn't good because, again, he's not on the lead lap right now. The 26 of John DeMatteo not having the best of nights tonight.
Yeah, good call and good catch on the 77, making the cut downward into John's door panel, which sends John for a ride. He saved it. Great job saving it, but it was way off pace and had a two-truck contact. And so the iRacing officials said, put it out, put it out.
All right.
As Mike Howell used to say.
Before we go on, the reason why we were talking about Brad Minor, and right now he's P16 and how he was making his way up, he cracked into the podium, then he was up there leading. Why it was so good, we're gonna go back and show you the incident that took place with the 46. This is the truck that's still currently out there running. So, boom! That's the truck that's still out there running right now. The one that had drove into the podium, had found himself up there leading, still pulling laps. That is the very same one. He didn't go back and get a new truck. No fast repairs. No fasties in the bank. That is the same one. So we seen Stephen Hayes do the very same thing at Bristol. Flip the truck, and he was up there battling for top 5 and podium and everything else. So when we say these drivers do not give up, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers do not give up.
That's the definition, man. Truck wrecked, flipped over, all sides of it crumpled up like a soda can, and he found a moment to stay out and lead a lap way further on down in the race. Basically 100 laps later, finds himself leading a lap or two. And I know it didn't pay off for him because of the tire differential, but still, able to lead the lap 100 laps later is kind of impressive, I would say. But we're going to go 2 laps before a green flag. The one's going to have to figure out how to do the long run now, because the short run advantage is now going to the 24 Luna. They're going to go back to green flag at lap 120, which will be 15 laps to go, which is right where the power of transfer of power goes between the 24 and the 1. So, but my question is, the yellow spoilers are right behind these guys, 65, 89. Do they have something in reserve to pass EJ Luna or Michael Hayes?
And I mean, that's the $1 million question, Jeremy. It's unknown at this point in time. I mean, we haven't seen much out of the 65 McGinley. Not saying he doesn't have it. We just have not seen it tonight. I mean, he started on the pole. He fell back early. He'd been fighting through traffic pretty much all night long, and has just now worked his way back up into the podium for the first time since he held it at the drop of the green flag back on lap 1. So we don't know what he has. We've seen the 89 of Bobby Mantle. He has speed, but it just doesn't seem like it's on the same level as the 1 and the 24 right now. I think your class of the field is your front row as it sits right now. The 24 and the 1, I think that they are going to be the ones to beat. The question is does the 65 or 89 or the 95 of Schilling, who has been just fire hot tonight, do they have anything to be able to compete with these drivers for 15 laps? Yeah, we know that they're good on the short run. Do they have enough? We're going to find out in 15 short laps.
You ask an excellent question. And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do, because we don't know. McGinley has just been all over the place, but finally found himself up here in the top 5 toward the end of this race. And even though he's fast, you can almost never count him out, no matter which week you're watching here on Nerd TV for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. Of course, Bobby Mantle has been with him for the most part. Seeing Curtis Noble somehow, he's up there in P6 after all the action he's been a part of. Bunch of 3-wide racing for that 88. Jason Schilling, you know, he's ran second place multiple times. I know he's got something in store for him. We're going to see the pace truck drive through EJ Luna. No problem. And here we go. The only thing that doesn't matter physics-wise is the pace truck. And A little bit of a domino bumper-to-bumper effect there on the inside lane. The 12 of Joshua Slade, don't know if that's going to be a penalty, but he reacted to the domino effect, moves to the inside, makes quick work of the 64, 95, 88, puts himself in the 5th place in the backstretch.
Yeah, that'll be a call for the admins. I know that these drivers are supposed to maintain their lanes until they cross the start-finish line. I don't know if that happened after, because it happened so fast, or if he gave the lap back, but that'll be the admin's call. For right now, we are racing right now, and you see the 24, EJ Luna, out front right now, and it is a hornet's nest behind him as these drivers are battling. Chad McGinley has found himself up into P2. Oh, the 12 of Slade loose as they're going 3 wide. Looks like Mantle is pushing back down on him, telling him, hey, give me a little bit of room here. 3 wide, Mike Hayes on the top, Mantle in the middle, Slade on the bottom. They get that sorted out. Mantle moves to that 2nd lane, Jeremy. It is tough back there for the fight for 2nd place on back.
Man, Mantle took all the air off the spoiler of the number 12, Joshua Slade. Got him loose, but saved it, corrected it, and we're still good now. Michael Hayes fighting for 5th place all of a sudden. As the 65-89, we asked ourselves, did they have something left in the tank? Well, sitting at 2nd and 3rd right now, they just might. EJ Luna has that 3 to 4 truck length advantage through turns 3 and 4, slightly gains more ground over those two. As the top 5, for the most part, goes single file, but Michael Hayes gets a great launch off of 4. He's going to put himself back to the top in 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's trying to get that top lane working. He's got the 12 of Slade behind him. He gives it up in corner entry, but he gains it on exit. He's going to do the crossover inside on the 65 of McGinley. This is your battle for 3rd place. This is your last podium position that these drivers are duking it out right now. Mantle trying to set sail with his eyes set on the number 24 of EJ Luna. Tough build to cash on that one, though, as he's trying to chase him down. And right now, I mean, Luna's got that fresh air, Jeremy. I mean, that could be make or break. That could be the key to victory right there as we're watching the battle. Oh, the 1 of Hayes loose off of turn 2.
EJ Luna trying to be the 8th different winner in the 2024 season. And he's going to have 10 laps to go to see if he can do that or hold off Bobby Mantle at this point. Michael Hayes is not done, though. Once that long run portion kicks in on his tires, expect the one to be fighting for at least 2nd or 3rd. But at the time being, Grim Reaper goes to the top. Lone Star driver EJ Luna goes to the bottom. They're going to meet back at the top of the back straightaway here. Single file, top 10. Gets to the turn number 3. You're going to see him fan out once more. 65 gets the clean air on the nose. Bobby Mantle seems to want the wake of the draft of the 24. Goes back single file once more. Now here comes Michael Hayes and Joshua Slade. They're going to be battling side by side for 4th and 5th.
Yeah, these guys have been battling it back and forth nonstop. Oh, man, what a cross there. The 88 didn't have time to check up. That was almost contact. And now the 88 of Noble and the 95 of Schilling side by side battling back there. That is going to be for that 6th position, just outside that top 5 as they're duking it out. Looks like the 65 McGinley way up top, searching, fishing for speed in that 65 as he's trying to chase down his teammate, Bobby Mantle in the 89, and they're both trying to chase down your current race leader, the 24 of EJ Luna.
And they're doing a good job of it. 3 and 4, that was their closest since the drop of the green flag. But 1 and 2, EJ Luna pulls back out to that 4 truck length advantage. Great run down the back straightaway for the 89. Going to close into turn 3 once more. Single file, still the top 5, nose to tail here. Getting to the line, 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go. That's going to be 7 long laps for the driver of that number 24 as he's trying everything to keep the drivers of Grim Reaper Motorsports, Mantle and McGinley at bay. And as I say that, here comes one of Mike Hayes trying to make his way into the picture. Now, Jeremy, this could be a variable that we are not expecting. If the one of Mike Hayes can get in there and start racing with these guys, it's going to slow them up. That could help EJ Luna. So a lot of factors and variables added as the 89 closes in. 1 truck length advantage goes to the 24 of EJ Luna.
EJ is actually searching through 3 and 4. That time took a complete different approach. High in turn 3, low in turn 4. Searching. 1 and 2, he's got it figured out. You see the gap. He extends it a little bit. But when we get to 3 and 4, EJ just does not know the fastest line for his setup here. He's going to go back to the 2nd to 3rd groove here. He gets gobbled up once more by the 89, gets a little bit better of a launch, but he's still 1 truck length in front of the 89. Now watch him go through 1 and 2 again. He's got a solid line through here. The 89 goes searching to the top, 4th groove, up against the wall, and does not get the momentum that he was looking for entirely. So he gets a little separation once more. Dustin, it's rinse and repeat here for these two.
Yeah, and I think that the trick to the victory here is the 24 has got to figure out his turn 3 and 4. He's got them down in 1 and 2. He can be a truck length advantage, and by the going into 1, and by the time he exits 2, he's 2.5. He's got 1 and 2 down. He's got to figure 3 and 4 out to keep these guys at bay, but these two racing each other, that's only going to help him. Look at the gap that he gets there off of 2, his strongest corner, while these guys are racing. They're going for every bit of position. That's what he needs. He needs to see that in his mirror more, and he needs to sit here and figure 3 and 4 out. If he can do that, we'll be interviewing him in victory lane for sure.
Yeah, this best 3 and 4 of that time by, actually. Everyone checks up. The 12 of Slade is going to try to go to the top with the number 1, Michael Hayes. But Michael goes down below the 65, trying to carry the speed, cannot do so, will not make that happen. The 12 of Slade now, he's going to put himself into P4 as they enter turn 3, coming up on 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. You see 3 out of the top 5 are taking that high line approach in each corner. Oh, Hayes cuts off the 12 of Slade. Slade does the crossover back down. Those guys are still duking it out. And right now, Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates are nose to tail trying to figure out how they're going to get past this 24 of EJ Luna. Luna, solid 1 and 2 corner. Looks like the 89 might have just scuffed the wall just ever so slightly. Jeremy, we're at 2 laps to go. We are going to be at the Elevated Esports. White flag, 1 to go this time by. That is going to put EJ Luna at just 4 more corners to hold off the tough charges of these guys as he goes way low in the tri-oval that time by.
Hit your marks, EJ, 2 more times, and you're going to have the YouTube chat on fire rooting for you here. 24 at the point, almost 3 wide for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Right now, Bobby Mantle has the position over Chad. What does Joshua do? Does he do anything crazy? Does he follow suit? They're going to stagger through 3 and 4 for the final time tonight. Does not look like positions will change. EJ Luna, congratulations. You are the 8th different winner in the Global Sim Racing Truck Series for 2024.
What a drive for that 24. Came up the field just ever so quietly, just working it back and forth. Found himself up front, and Jeremy really didn't leave the podium since then. Bobby Mantle finishes P2, McGinley P3, so good bounce back for the Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers, especially McGinley, who we hadn't really seen all race long. So it was good to see that happen there. Excellent drive there. Good to see the 24 in victory lane. Good congratulatory little side bump there. Going to get one from Mike Hayes. Tell him good job. And we're going to watch him burn it down, Jeremy.
The HSO on YouTube saying, EJ Luna. Second time he said that, and there he is. He's going to burn it down for the first time. I don't know if EJ knows my rule. We're going to keep this thing off the wall, hopefully. And here we go. We're going to do a nice, simple start to the burnout here. Going to have Stephen Hayes, I guess, join in, and somebody else up there. Whole team's going to smoke it down here on the front straightaway at Chicago. And a nice little hold your brake burnout to climb up the banking here. I kind of like this burnout. It's a little staggered, yawed out, and clean. So there we go. Good job there. And here's the unofficial results for the Illinois 201. EJ Luna, first place. Second place, Bobby Mantle. Third, Chad McGinley. Fourth, Joshua Slade. Fifth, Michael Hayes. Sixth place will be Jacob Grant. Seventh, Jason Schilling. Eighth place, Abram Ghostin. Ninth, nice recovery from Patrick Gentner. 10th place, Curtis Noble. 11th, Stephen Hayes. 12th, Danny White. 13th, Ron Harrington coming up through the field for 27th, 13th. Great job by the 57. 14th will be Austin McGill. 15th, Nick Boyd. 16th, William Gay. 17th, Anthony Emmerich. 18th will find Sheen Wielden. 19th, Bradley Miner. 20th place, the first truck one lap down and more. That's John De Matteo. Then Jamie Horn, and everybody else on back disconnected. That would have been Clayton White, Ronald Holmes, Brody Marinko, Mark Sherwood, Brandon Crichton, and Stephen Knight rounds out the 27 truck lineup for this event here tonight at Chicago. We're going to go full screen commercial, gather up our top three. We will be right back. And welcome back here for the Martin Sports post-race show here for the Global Sim Racing Truck Series. And I do believe we have our top three gathered up here this evening. Third place is going to be that number 65, Chad McGinley. Congratulations on podium P3.
How's it going? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, we're doing good up here. Great performance when we had green flag laps, but there was a lot of cautions in between, 9 of them here tonight at Chicago. You started up front, sir, and then a mid-race, it did not look like you had the speed, but somehow toward the end, you made yourself back up into the podium range. So kind of walk us through the middle of that race and how are you able to recover and get back into the top 3?
It was all part of the plan to get go. We were just saving in the middle of the run. We came down, topped off fuel early, so we got sent to the back, and it was just a matter of saving tires at that point. So there's no reason for us to push too hard. Started picking off one at a time, and then caution came out, and our strategy was out the door there, and then got a new strategy and ended up going a little off cycle, taking more fuel at the end run. We were good. Only do about a half a tank or so at the end and come in about 20 to go. And of course, another caution happens, and that plan went out the window too. So just a matter of didn't go our way this week, but we still got a top 3 out of it, me and Bobby. So worked out pretty good for us.
All right, 10-4 on that. And my second question is not so much about performance, but just a curiosity question. 22, JJ McCoy, 2 weeks out. When are we going to see him returning?
Hopefully next week. He's taking some overtime shifts. They're sending him out. He delivers trucks, so he's or delivers product to stores. So he's picking up some extra hours, working early morning. So he's already in bed for the night. And hopefully next week we'll see him.
All right, 10-4 on that. So yeah, don't put video games in front of anything else real world related. So
right, yeah, we're just here one-offs now. I'm missing a couple races in the playoffs, so I may miss a few weeks, but we're here just to fill some holes and try to have some fun every once in a while.
Yes, sir. And you slightly gained your point advantage over the 12 Joshua Slade, who finished one position behind you. But congratulations on the well-done performance, P3. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
I just appreciate you guys putting it on. It's always been a good show. Even last week, not being there, took time and watched it. It was a good race. I missed it a little bit, but we're fighting for Road to Pro round 2, so that's my important thing that I want to try to work on. So that's why I might be missing some races and putting that in priority. So ended up with a P10 this past week. So I'll take that any day in a Road to Pro room.
Yeah, I saw that with the strength of field over 6,000. So to take P10 and that is an excellent job on your part, man. So continue to do well and maximize what you can on that side of things, and we'll be wishing you luck.
I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good one.
You too. That was Chad McGinley in the 65. Now we're going to rotate to his teammate, who we have not talked to in quite a bit, Dustin.
Nope.
89, Mr. Bobby Mantle. Welcome to podium P2.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, we're doing great up here. You guys put on a pretty strong run when we had the green flag laps. A lot of 2, 3 wide. We've seen a couple of times it was 4 wide. We've seen 2 trucks flip over. We've seen a lot of loose trucks. Everything in between, man. So just kind of walk us through your night, and it took you a while to get to the front there to battle the EJ Luna truck there for P1 tonight.
Well, every strategy I tried tonight got foiled. I would try to just go in for fuel, not take tires, try and stretch out the run, and a caution would come out. Have to go and take tires and out the back of the field. Tried that again later on in the run, just took fuel so we could stretch our fuel run just a little bit longer, and then go all out for the last about 20 laps or so. Caution comes out again, so there goes that plan out the window. So I just started trying to drive my way through the front best I could. And unfortunately, I think I just burned my stuff up a little bit too much, trying to fend off some guys. About 30 laps to go, and that caution came out, and I gave it hell, but EJ was just faster. I had nothing for him.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. And it's good to see the yellow spoilers back up in this podium. Did not see it last week at all. And then because a lot of drivers decided to take the week off for whatever reason, and then back here tonight at it, minus the 22 and 2 of the 3 that we talked to. So what was the preparation coming in tonight to try to do the best you can here?
I just tried to get some more races under my belt. Lately, I've only been getting 1 or 2 officials in a week. Not as much practice as I'd like to, just other things going on with life. So this week I dedicated some time to get some more laps under my belt, get a little more comfortable with the truck, and get paid off.
I would definitely say so myself there. Congratulations, second place tonight. Floor is yours. Who would you like to thank?
Thank you guys for the awesome broadcast you put on. By the sounds of it, I'm looking forward to watching this one. Sounds a little hectic.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who's showing up here in the league and filling this field out. And thanks to all my friends that tune in to watch us.
All right, man. Yeah, appreciate the thoughts, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. And that was the number 89, Bobby Mantle. Now it's our time to go to victory lane for the first time this season. We're going to bring in EJ Luna. Congratulations, man, on the first checker flag of the 2024 season.
Hey, Jeremy, Dustin, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir, man. Just whenever you got the clean air late in this race, you were almost untouchable. If it wasn't for Michael Hayes having a really strong long-run truck, you were the man in the back half of this race. So minus everything that happened through all the cautions and this and that and all the different lead changes, how'd you find yourself up there toward the late half of this race?
Honestly, I feel like I was just being consistent on the long run, and then all those cautions started flying. So whenever we got those restarts, I would just get everything I could, and they kept flying and flying. I made my way around the outside. Made a couple questionable moves, but I mean, we survived, so it got us to the front. And I mean, you saw it from the end. We made that last pit stop. We saved that set of tires, and everybody was about on the same strategy. So I was just trying to save my tires a little bit, at the same time trying to stay ahead of these guys with a good enough cushion, so I wouldn't have to, stress out on that last lap. And fortunately, it worked out that way.
Coming in tonight's race, your team, Lone Star, and yourself in particular, did you know you were going to have a decent showing here at Chicago, or did you guys put in a lot of effort during this week to maximize your guys' speed for tonight's race?
Honestly, I did not get a lot of work this week. Fortunately, our setup showed up, so we were able to put in some good positions today.
Sometimes the talent plays out, no practice or little practice, and still manage to find it. So congratulations on that, man. 8th different winner of the 2024 season. Floor is yours. Final thoughts before we let you go.
Man, thanks for everybody that's watching, supporting. Thank you, Nerditudes, for putting this on. Shout out to my teammates, and friends and family. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one.
You do the same, man. Good night to you. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
That was EJ Luna. 8 different winner, Dustin. I love to hear that number. That means there's not too, my minus Chad and Joshua. There's not been too many repeats. So let's try to see if we can't get double digits in that category.
Yeah, I love seeing a variety of race winners like that. I mean, it's nice to see different winners. You don't see the same one. It's unless you're cheering on that one driver that's got like 8 wins in a season, 10 wins in a season, and there's only one other person that's won a race. People they get burnt out on seeing the same person win day in, day out, week in, week out. So it's always nice to see that. Plus, that also shows the level of competition this league brings. It's not weighed in one way or the other. I mean, our championship gap coming into the race was only 5 points. Now I think it's the 6
or 7,
yeah. Something like that. So championship point is close. We have 8 different winners this season already. That shows you the range that this league brings, and that any driver has the chance and the ability to win. So another reason why we love broadcasting for Global Racing.
Yeah, solid group of drivers. I haven't seen any type of conflicts from amongst each other all year, being our opening year. Love to see that, and a bunch of teamwork. Minus a couple one-offs where they don't really practice too much. There's a lot of work behind the scenes these teams do to make the show happen here on Sunday nights, and we appreciate that from everybody. But we're going to bring this thing to a close, Dustin. Appreciate you for co-producing / broadcasting with me. It's a tough task sometimes, especially when there's 9 cautions to cycle through, but
we make it happen, man. We make it happen. It's good.
And JJ McCoy putting a lot of work overtime. So is our other producer, commentator rather, Jason Rockefeller. His shop has got him working some major OT there behind the scenes. So
we miss you, buddy. Can't wait for you to come back.
Yeah, we'll see you when we get here. No pressure though. Work, of course, trumps anything on the digital side. So, but thank you guys for tuning in. We had 22 plus viewers for quite a while. I think even more than that. Don't know the max number, but it was a long stretch anyways. So thank you guys for tuning in, and catch us Tuesday night for the RSR Next Generation Cup Series race. Same time frame, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. You'll find these 2 faces, or Jason, calling the action there. So you guys have a good rest of your night. Stay safe. Get your nerd on. Take it away, Scott.
This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. DustyPete's.com.